Hi everyone, it's me, Krylios, Team Rayceen Productions co-host and moderator.
And I'm Erin Palmer, Team Rayceen Productions co-host and moderator.
Joining us are Noel and Shady. Welcome.
Hi there, we're super happy to be here.
Thanks so much for joining us. Before we talk about Girls Rock DC, can you tell our viewers a little bit about who you are and what you do? And let's start with Shady and then go to Noel.
Sure. Hello, I'm Shady, and I'm one of the two co-executive directors at Girls Rock DC. A little bit about me is I'm a working musician in Washington, DC, and a DC native. So I've been here my whole life. Go DC. I used to be in a band called Lightmare, and now I'm in a band called Endlings. And music is a huge part of my life. So I feel really honored to work with an organization that brings that to young people in DC as well.
And my name is Noel. I'm the other co-executive director of Girls Rock DC. I am a nonprofit executive. I've been in DC for 10 years, going on forever because I love DC. I'm an amateur musician and I'm a former teacher. So I love the opportunity at Girls Rock DC to be able to work with young folks every day.
I love that. I love that. So thanks so much for being here. As you said before, let us get into everything Girls Rock DC. So please tell us about Girls Rock DC, including how it was founded and what its mission is.
Sure. I mean, I can start. Girls Rock DC was founded in 2008. And this is our 15th anniversary year, everyone. So definitely celebrate with us if you can. Girls Rock DC was founded by a group of women and other gender expansive, non-binary and transgender folks who noticed that in the local music industry and kind of the music industry at large, there wasn't a lot of representation of these groups in leadership or in prominent positions. And where there were, it was twice as hard for those folks to gain that recognition. So Girls Rock DC was founded to help nurture the next generation of young musicians and give them the spotlight and make sure that their voices are being heard as the music industry continues to grow and develop in DC.
And over these past 15 years, Girls Rock DC has grown from this organization led by a small group of volunteers to now having a really large community of team members and volunteers and campers and instructors and their families, all of whom are united around this mission of providing these music opportunities for young folks so that they can develop those skills to be the leaders in these spaces like they deserve to. And so now we put on summer camps and after school programs and workshops and concerts and jams and all kinds of super fun stuff throughout the year.
That's great. 15 years is a long time, especially for a nonprofit. Can you tell us about how the organization has changed, how it's grown? What's better about it now that you've been around for a while?
Well, as Noel said, the early days of Girls Rock DC, it was an entirely volunteer-run organization, which meant that those first several years were spent building that network of artists and of community members that really care about what we're doing. And as time has gone on, we've learned a lot from the young people, what it is that they want to learn about, what is important to them to include in the program. So as time has gone on, the social justice aspect and the community work aspect of our organization has become more prominent. So as important as the music is, it's also being blended with activism and showing young people that art can be a tool for activism and community change. So in more recent years, Girls Rock DC has featured workshops, for example, on transportation justice in Washington, DC, or food scarcity and why that's a big issue, how to run for office, things like that allow them to think deeply about the community that we live in and think deeply about how they can use music and use the arts as a tool for change and a megaphone for their own voices on these issues.
Oh, I love that so much. It's so good to really be able to not only excel, in the passion of music, but also finding, wonderful, unique, progressive, productive ways of even turning, that into more and using it in other facets and aspects of life. Noah, tell me, what's one of the biggest lessons maybe that you've learned being involved, with Girls Rock DC, and seeing all these different people being able to blossom and grow and find their space around you. It's always great seeing the youth being able to do what they love and find different ways of expressing themselves. So tell me about some of that.
That's a great question. And I think the biggest lesson that I have learned with Girls Rock DC is that you don't need to do much to give young people a space to explore their creative selves. They don't need a push, they just need the container in order to do that. And so at Girls Rock DC, we are providing support around building the hard skills of music, yes, but that's really one of the least important parts. The most important being that we're creating a community where young folks are able to make connections with each other and make connections between the things that they care about and the things that are happening in their communities. And they're expressing those connections and those ideas through music. And I have been astounded truly year over year with the massive amount of creativity that young folks in our programs are demonstrating. The songs that they're writing about things like safety in their communities, things about mutual aid, about the things they love, about the things that bring them joy, and their ability to do that with like little to no prompting. Again, just giving them that space to be able to do that. And I think that's a really important lesson for all different kinds of spaces in our communities that are or should be centering young folks, is that they deserve these spaces in their schools, in their families, in their community spaces. This is what young people need in order to be able to thrive.
It's really impressive, the recognition and honoring of youth agency, that they are their own people. And this is like a lifelong lesson as a parent, that like you give birth and the whole process after that, even of giving birth, is like letting your children go, like letting them be themselves. And it's really wonderful to see an organization that honors youth for who they are and recognizes that they can make decisions and have ideas and have a space to grow. So that's really lovely. You have talked a little bit about some of your programming, but I'm wondering if you can give more details about the programs that you offer and how people can participate in them.
Sure. Well, our main two programs for young people to join are the Youth Summer Camp, which happens in July and August, and our after-school programs, which are in the winter-spring semester and the fall-winter semester at school. During these programs, for example, summer camp, a session of summer camp is a week long. Young people join us on that Monday. They are assigned an instrument based on their preferences. They receive instrument instruction throughout the week, learning that instrument. And the instruments that we offer are drums, bass, guitar, vocals, and keyboard. So they spend the week learning from real working musicians from the community on these instruments. And then in the afternoons, they're giving band coaching and songwriting coaching where they form their own bands with their peers and start writing their original songs. Now, throughout the week, as they're working on their instrument instruction and learning how to write a song and writing a song together with their peers, they're also receiving workshops about the music industry, about what it means to be a working musician in Washington, D.C., or what are some of the tips and tricks that you can use to be the best artists that you can be. And also, as I mentioned before, about the social and community justice issues that are important to them in the community. They're also receiving workshops on that. And of course, we can't forget that every day during lunchtime, our kids receive a private concert from one of DC's awesome local musicians or bands, artists or bands, and all of these mentors, all of these instructors, all of these performers come from the communities of the kids that come to our camps. And more importantly, they are also represented in those underrepresented groups that we founded this organization for. So they're seeing themselves reflected as leaders, as mentors, as performers, as working artists throughout the week of camp. And then at the end of camp, we have this super big, super fun showcase where
Okay, yes. That was what I was going to ask next. I was waiting for you to lead up to it.
the showcase is where the young folks can show off their hard work, their original songs. And let me tell you guys, these songs are so good. I still have some of them stuck in my head from 2-3 years ago. And it's just phenomenal to watch these young folks spend a week working on a song, and some of them learning a new instrument for the very first time. And then at the end of that week, they have completed a song. They're up there on stage at one of DC's prominent venues, such as in the past, we've been at 930 Club or Black Cat. And they're on the big stage performing their own original work after, you know, some come in on Monday and they're a little bit shy. They're not sure they can do it. And then by Friday, they're like, so that's kind of an overview, yes.
It's so
is
cool.
wonderful.
And most
Very
importantly, how do people sign up? How can I sign up?
Well, you can visit our website. We have different pages for each of our programs where all of the details are kind of spelled out there. And you can join our mailing list where we push out our applications for camp and for after school program as soon as they happen. And so those of you looking to get involved in summer camp, you know, stay tuned on the email mailing list, because that application is coming out very soon. And we want to make sure that you all have the opportunity to join us for camp.
And the most amazing thing I think about camp and about our programs that Shady talked about is all of these programs, all of our instructors are local musicians. All of our camp counselors are former campers. These are folks from the community giving back to young folks in the community. And so there are opportunities, of course, for young folks to participate in summer camp this summer, but also opportunities for adults to volunteer and have that space to give back to young folks. And for me, one of the most valuable things is being able to provide these experiences that I would have loved as a young person, to be able to have like a private concert with a local band that I think is amazing. That's astounding. To be able to learn guitar from a guitarist who performs regularly and who looks like me, who's from my neighborhood, who shares experiences with me, that's huge. And so I started out at Girls Rock DC as a volunteer because I loved that opportunity to give back to young folks.
I love it. Wonderful, wonderful. Well, speaking of showcases, let's talk about events and upcoming things that you are involved with. So let everyone know what they can look forward to and any events that are upcoming.
Sure thing. Well, we just had our hat band showcase, which is a fundraiser, super fun way to become involved. It's kind of like our summer camp, but run by and for adults as a fundraiser. And you can get involved with that again next year. So keep an eye out for that. In, what is it? It's June now? No, it's May now. In June, excuse me, everyone. It's a little bit of a groggy day for me. In June, we'll be having a gear sale and community meetup. So again, you know, stay tuned on our social media and our newsletter for that. But essentially what the gear sale is, you know, sometimes we get donations or we come across musical instruments and musical equipment that we can't really use for our summer camp, but it's really cool stuff that we want to make sure makes its way back into the community. And so we, as a fundraiser, we offer those instruments and that equipment for like a super low price, where you can find some really unique stuff, and you can meet up with our volunteers, meet some of our youth leaders during this, and get to know our organization a little bit better and find out how to become involved. Of course, in July, we'll be having our summer camp and the summer camp showcase, which is TBA, but will be June 22nd. So again, just keep up with us. And maybe I'm getting a little vague here so that you all just start following us on socials and join our email list to keep up.
Is the showcase open to the public?
Yes. The
Okay,
showcase
good to know.
is open to everyone.
And tell our viewers how they can follow Girls Rock DC now that you're mentioning social media. What is it? Tell us how we can follow it and learn more and support Girls Rock DC.
Sure. So we are on all social medias. So follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook at Girls Rock DC, all one word. Our Instagram has lots of really fun photos and videos of what we're up to. And of course, you can go ahead and visit www.girlsrockdc.org to sign up for that newsletter and to kind of do a deeper dive into some of the background of what we do and our programs, find out how to volunteer on the website, as well as hit that donate button and support us as we continue on to make these programs possible. And one thing I'll note there that's really important is that we offer our programs on a sliding scale tuition that starts at $0, which means that there's no barrier to participation based on ability to pay for young folks in DC. And what that means is those donations go a long way to make sure that we can put these programs on for as many young folks as possible without them having to worry about the cost of tuition. So visit our website, definitely follow us on these social media here, and keep up with the awesome things that we're doing this year, because it's only going to go up from here.
I love it. I love it. Such a good work that you're doing in our community. Thank you so much for doing it. And thank you so much for being here. Noel, Shady, such a great time getting to chat with you and learning about everything that you do with the amazing Girls Rock DC. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And viewers, please remember, links are in the description below.
To those watching, please follow Team Rayceen on social media.
And click around our YouTube channel and check out our other interviews, vlogs, forums, and more. And while you're there, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. But most of all, viewers, thank you for watching.